My name is Brian. And
Does this bother you, Alice?
Progress.
okay, so my computer hates me when I run a live meeting. Sorry about that. As soon as I got to talking, it kicked me off. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Can you hear me, Dorinda? Okay. All right, so let's do introductions. So if you guys here in the room, we'll start with those of you guys that are here in the room. Go around the horn and introduce yourselves, and then we'll let everybody joining remotely go one by one. So say your name, who you're with. If you want to flash your title, you can.
I said, okay.
Go ahead.
Ana San Cristobal, New American Workforce Navigator for South Central Workforce Board.
Matt Bacon, Executive Director at Career Team.
Jasmine Bass, Career Advisor for Career Team.
Bianca Wilson, Career Team Business Service Representative.
Leslie Whitty with the Workforce Board.
Chad Spencer, Director of Career Services with Goodwill Industries of Kentucky.
Tony Fernando, local veteran employment rep with the state of Kentucky.
Jessica Calvert with the Workforce Board.
Derek Olive, dedicated.
All right, let's let people go online. So I don't never know how to do this properly because my view is different than everybody else's that we can see on the Brady Bunch style. So how about we'll start with Miss Shannon, and Shannon, you pass it over to somebody else. We'll do it that way.
Okay, I am Shannon Gottke, Partnership Ambassador with Career Team. And I'll pass it to Bill.
Hey everybody, Bill Sandell with, I'm a workforce development consultant with the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services. Good to see y'all.
Make it pass, Bill.
Let's go with Okemia.
Good morning. My name is Okemia Williams. I'm with Jackson and Pierce, and I do recruitment and outreach for Job Corps.
All right, who would you like to have go next?
I will ask my other community partner that I work with, Elizabeth Robinson. Is she on this morning?
Yes, yes, I am. Well, my name is Elizabeth Robinson. I also work with Jackson and Pierce for Job Corps, and we're very happy to be here. All right, Alice, have you gone yet? It's your turn then.
I'm Alice Tarnaglia with SkyCTC's Workforce Solutions, and I am a Workforce Solutions Liaison. So we work with local employers to develop customized training and provide special training for local employers and employees. And I will pass to TJ Shockley Hunt.
Good morning, TJ Shockley Hunt with SkyCTC Workforce Solutions. And I'm also a Workforce Board member, 3-term Workforce Board member.
Who you want to talk, TJ?
I'm so sorry. How about Miss Woolbright?
Ann Woolbright with 211 and United Way of Southern Kentucky. I will pass to who's left? Heath Ray.
Hey, good morning. My name is Heath Ray from Community Action. I work with refugee services, connecting them to employment opportunities. I'm gonna pass it off to my old buddy, Sarah Russell.
Let me unmute myself. Good morning. I'm Sarah Russell with Audubon Area Community Services. I'm so happy to be here this morning.
She'll only be here on Tuesdays.
I will pass it off to Paula Brooks.
Good morning. I'm Paula Brooks with the Office of Voc Rehab, and I'm the Job Placement Specialist. And I will pass it to Tammy.
I had to leave my ID down there and
That's actually Debbie. Yeah.
Tammy down. Tammy is cooking today. Today is pay what you can or don't pay at all. We are having stewed beef and corn cakes and fried corn and baked potatoes, sliced tomatoes.
Tammy, give us about 20 minutes. We're gonna move the location of this meeting.
Okay. Come on down, by the way.
All right. Jana, how about you go next?
Sure. I'm Janice Shell and I'm the reentry navigator for the South Central and the Cumberland's Workforce Development Boards. And I'll call on Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura Torres, Program Director for Commonwealth Coders.
All right. I'm glad to have you, Laura. Let's see. How about Dana? Dana Patterson. I think she's gone yet. Okay, how about Miss Amy?
Hey everybody, it's Amy Thomas. I'm the instructor in College and Career Navigator at Butler County Skills U, and I also teach classes at our Butler County Jail. Nice to see everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Okay, how about the other Amy? Amy Settles.
Hard to hear me on this laptop. Program coordinator with career team and the WIOA contract.
All right, how about Miss Denise?
Oh, we have string beans too. Oh, wow.
You talking about me? Good morning.
We are talking about you. I'm glad you're here to hear us talk about you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Denise Mcdonald with Logan County Good Samaritan.
Okay. And then I see another first timer on here, Miss Brittany Sweeney. Could you introduce yourself?
I was trying to hide.
No.
Brittany Sweeney, Barron County Adult Education, formerly Skills U, Program Coordinator and College Career Navigator.
So we're officially saying formerly Skills U now, huh?
It is officially adult education again.
Wow. All right. Did everybody did you got to introduce yourself, Derek, right? With the introductions when you're here. And then anybody else we haven't introduced yet that's online? Anybody else walk in the room?
Hey everyone, my name is Jake McAndrews. I'm here with the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce with the Town Pipeline Management Program. Good to meet everyone.
Yeah. And then one more.
Yes, hi, my name is Keisha Townsend-Eaton. I am the Chief of Policy at CARE, Companions and Animals for Reform and Equity, and we are interested in assisting folks with workforce development, especially if they have an animal and that prevents a barrier to doing that. I can explain what that means if anybody ever has any questions. But for example, we just provided work boots to somebody, for example, that was choosing between getting a job and pet food. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's glad to, it sounds like you're going to be a unique and important addition to this. So thank you. I'm here. Jessica, any chats or anything to share with everybody? Just introductions. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're glad to have everybody for the meeting. So we'll jump into our topic here soon, but want to give everybody, as we usually do, a chance to share news, updates, things going on. Again, you don't have to wait till the meeting to do this, but if anything you want to share with everybody right now, we'd love to hear it.
Green beans need to have a small update.
Okay, so we got Mr. Chad Spencer with an update.
So Goodwill has found a new storage warehouse to move all of our storage out of our opportunity center. And on August 1st, they will be moving and we will be expanding the opportunity center. And with that expansion comes more office space. So what we're wanting to do is invite community partners in on a weekly basis to have office space in the facility to offer more services to anyone that comes in the doors. As you guys know, our model has shifted a little bit from just employment to barrier reduction before employment. So basically, we look at ourselves as a gap filler. We do have, buy-in, which is our soft skills academy, but once they complete that, it's like the skies open up. So once that expansion is complete, we will be doing a re-grand opening, and we're going to invite everyone down, and it's going to be a good time. But
So
the
was
most
it-
important part of that is we're going to offer space inside the facility for our community partners on a weekly basis.
Is that Goodwill? Is that
Yes, ma'am.
Chad?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Chad.
Well, hello.
That sounds like a good deal.
All right, fantastic update there. So anybody that's ears perked up or needs to tell their supervisors or higher ups, hey, get in touch with Chad?
Yes, get it, and the space is going to be free. We want community partners in the building so that when someone in need comes in, they don't have to drive all over Bowling Green. They can go from one office to the next. And like I said, that space is going to be free for anyone that wants to participate.
Fantastic. All right, great. Other updates. News also includes any staff changes, so it doesn't have to be just program things. If there's somebody that you guys need to let us all know as far as a new point of contact or anything like that, can make everybody aware.
Me, I want to talk about Commonwealth Coders.
Yes, Ms. Laura, go for it.
Yes, we are vamping up our recruitment efforts for our fall class for Commonwealth Coders. For those of you that are not familiar with it, it is a 16-week intensive junior web development class for folks in Kentucky. We serve the 10 surrounding counties. So we're really, really pushing hard on our recruitment process for this wonderful class. We teach basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python. When students get done with this class, they receive a certificate of completion and they will be prepared to start a role as a junior web developer. So it's an awesome opportunity. We want folks around bigger cities to know that rural Kentucky can also push out innovators. Well, I believe that we are building a culture for that with this class, and this is the first step. So please help me out and let your partners know, friends, family, anyone else in the community that you have contact with to visit commonwealthcoders.com. And I myself will follow up with that interest form and get in contact with Split. So please help. That's it.
Speaking. Who was speaking?
Laura Torres.
Laura? Okay.
Yes.
I've got a question. What are the qualifications for the individuals? What's eligibility and qualifications? Go ahead.
For the class, they just need to have some solid algebra skills and some basic knowledge on how to work a computer or a MacBook preferably.
Okay. And let me see. I'm interested just to find out more information. Can I call you, talk to you, your email?
Definitely. Yes, I will put my contact info in the chat for you.
All right, thank you.
I have another question, Laura. They have to be a permanent resident, or they accept another, immigration condition or status?
The permanent residency or the immigration status would come into play if they're looking for financial assistance through the career team. Otherwise, if they're self-pay, Anna, we don't look at that. But I guess maybe that would take some other things into consideration, like future employment.
Well, I take the washer again, because
Yeah, so I'll make a really quick update. This is Brian again. The reason Anna's asking that, we tried to recently put an Afghan individual through CDL, and we found out, unfortunately, after class got started, that the CDL requirement is that they have to have green card, status, and the Afghans don't currently have that. They have to have been here for 1 year. So that was a state licensing thing, and I don't think Commonwealth Coders has quite that structure where it's going to require that. But Ms. Laura, what I also wanted to draw attention to was not just take your word for it because you work for the program, but you've also been a participant, haven't you?
Yes, I have, and here I am, living proof that it works.
There we go. We're done. Peace out. Have a good day, everybody. We're going to end it right there. No. Thank you, Laura. We're excited to have you. And I know that when this class came out a few years ago, it was like 0 to hero kind of promise, but it really has done that for people. And that's what's great. And it is unique in that it wasn't originally, but it is now 100% online. So I've got the screen that I'm sharing with the flyer there. So that's unique, finding training opportunity that you can do from home. Even though it is intense and it is 16 weeks, it is online. It's live online too. It's not just like turn in Blackboard assignments like some of us may have had to do in our schooling before. So, okay, other news and updates.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laura, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's very interactive, and we do have support staff there for folks that have any questions while the instructor is teaching. So it's very interactive, not boring like Brian said.
Yep. All right, anybody other news updates?
For career team, I guess we're under new management as of July 1st. And with that, Miss Bianca Wilson was promoted to business service representative. You all are in businesses that are interested in utilizing the WIO services through career team. Bianca is a good point of contact for you, and you can list her information out in the chat as well.
You reminded me of something when you mentioned a CDL issue. If you have clients that have transportation issues in and around the Bowling Green area, we're still working on our Vans to Work program, but in the meantime, we have a contract with PCs for People where we're able to give Lyft vouchers. Lyft is around here, so again, have to have a little skin in the game with soft skills, but if you're needing transportation to training or to employment, we can give up to 3 weeks of Lyft vouchers for anyone that qualifies.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
So 3 weeks might get them through that initial kind of paperwork and pay stub coming in kind of thing.
Exactly. Try to get you Lyft vouchers until you get your first paycheck to where you can figure out your own transportation.
I've got some good information there.
Anybody else?
Say hi.
Okay, what I want to share real quick is, oh, go ahead.
Tammy McCory from Live the Proof.
Any updates?
Here in Franklin, Kentucky. Any updates that we have? We've changed the name from Feed the Need to the Live the Proof Cafe, which we do every Thursday for our Pay What You Can meal. And then every Tuesday, we do a free soup and sandwich along with a free grocery store. And that's all the updates I have for us right now.
Are we now receiving?
Phenomenal. Yeah, thanks for being on the top on.
Okay. We also are being called by, hold on, don't leave, Tammy, I may need help. We're being called by the Sheriff's Department, so if they have people being released, they're being released directly into our care, which we count that as a privilege.
Yeah, great. I'll just share that we've been doing job fairs now since February in different counties, but we're working also with Career Team and the Career Center to have an overall job fair strategy that'll involve going to those different counties, doing those Talent Tuesday events that we've talked about, hosting things at the Career Center, as well as working with Sky CTC, Matt in his previous role here with our board, set up targeted hiring events by academic program at the campus where those programs were taught at, bringing employers on site to meet with students. So we'll plan to continue to do those. We also plan to be more intentional helping employers on site with their efforts. We've dabbled in that before, but we want to offer that. And then, you know, just like Amy there in Butler County had hosted a job fair, and Live the Proof has hosted a job fair. We want to be able to tag along and draw employers to your attention. We have a lot of employers that are interested in job fairs, and we just can't do Talent Tuesday enough. And so it's going to take everybody and all of you that want to be involved in this work to host, to let us know so that we can connect and then help promote those opportunities, obviously, as well. So I just wanted to make a quick blurb about that. We're continuing to do our workshops. Career team, Ms. Shannon specifically has been hosting those, and we've had career development office involved with those as well, the other side of the house at our career center. We've done these at different locations, but we've had the best success doing them regularly at the Bowling Green Career Center. We'll have another one tomorrow. So there is a way people can scan a QR code. I know Leslie's been putting things out on social media. We do like to see that people be pre-registered for those, just so we don't cap out and not have enough space. We only have 9 computers in the room we're using right now, but these have been great. We've had people that have never had a resume before walk out with a resume. And we do have it where if they can stay around long enough, it takes maybe about an hour to 2 hours, depending on how much work somebody needs to do. But they can literally walk out with a resume. And then, of course, we want to connect them to who's going to care now that they have a resume. And so all those employment opportunities that are out there. So shameless plug internally, we got one there, and then we'll have another one on July 20, what is it? 4th or
June, I believe so, yeah.
It's like in 2 weeks. Yeah. So
and the easiest way to get to that is if you go to our website and click the events tab. We've got a new calendar, so you can just click whatever day. That we are trying to simplify getting to resources as quickly as possible.
Yep. So I think we may have unveiled the calendar at last month's meeting. Maybe we didn't. It's kind of come on pretty recently, but we have an events tab on our Workforce Board website, as Leslie said. And Jessica, if you could also type that in the chat for everybody just to get to the main page. But if you're trying to find out when these are offered and other job fair opportunities, we're going to get all of those listed as those become available or get scheduled. And then, as I always do, if you're not already on the partnership team thing, or you have a new staff member, make sure that they have joined it by also going to our website and clicking on the partner tab and clicking on the I'm interested button. That's a little short intake form, and then you'll get an email reply from Leslie with filling out more information, and you'll get added to that. You'll also they will start to get emails from Frank, our one-stop operator, who couldn't be here today, to let you guys know about any other news and announcements that go out. Okay, any needs? I know sometimes this is kind of a Bueller thing, but if anybody has anything they need help with or wanted to pitch before the group before we get into our topic, we're all ears. No? Okay. So what I will say to them before we get into the topic is, I unveiled this, don't like look too close, but we are trying to track employment opportunities, and I've had a little bit more of a longer conversation with some of you. I know I kind of teased this at the last month's meeting, and some of you said, yes, I want to be part of this. We are trying to track by county, by sector, typical positions, the pay ranges, the benefits, flyers that are being used, any of that kind of stuff to keep it fresh, points of contacts, application steps, all of that. So I really would like to continue. I'm going to probably send an email out to everybody, but would like to find out who wants to have view access to this. And then we also need to decide on a few of you partners that might want to edit it and be able to give us, more live feedback, because we really want anybody who is professionally or even in an amateur way through your organizations helping job seekers to have their fingertips with this info, have this info at their fingertips. So, there's a lot of people looking, there's a lot of people going on Facebook or just like, hey, who can pay $16 an hour second shift? We want that information sort of on here so you can point them in a direction. And if your organization is involved directly in placing people in employment, then you already are keeping up with this somehow, some way. We would like to have just a master sheet, as a system to be able to kind of share and use this information together.
Hey,
So,
Brian,
yes.
I don't know if this would be applicable or whatever, but is that something as far as just like a view? Is that something we could have on our private page? So
Oh, that's
there's
a
a
good
link
idea.
to it.
That might be helpful to do. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. Leslie, I hadn't thought of that. So, yeah, I didn't say that, but if you get on the partner tab, which we would really like to have your photo. Some of us are visual people.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you remember, like Chad doesn't just have a deep voice. He's a tall guy. Like he stands out in the crowd. You know Chad when you come across him, right? Like, but if you forgot his name, but now you know what he looks like. We're trying to kind of play to the visual and the people that, you know, like to keep up with spreadsheets. But it also gets you access to a password protected page that you can see all of this directory information, and that's where maybe we could have this live so you can find it. Yeah, because right now it's just a Google Doc, so it's sort of a website. Okay, well, we'll get into the heart of the meeting here. So we've talked about it over the course of several months. We really have ramped up preparations, and we wanted to kind of make a final dive into it today. As we've done these job fairs, we've had partners that have asked us if they can come on and join, and we really saw a need to have a separate partner facilitated and spotlighted event. Right now, we're just calling those resource fairs. Maybe today we'll walk out of here with a better name. I don't know, but we are trying to do these like we did our summits, our workforce summits last fall, where these cover the 10-county territory. And so right now, as they are being proposed, it's the last week of July, back to back to back to back. So you can see here on the screen the schedule. So we are coming to hopefully Metcalfe County first, but that will serve the Allen and Monroe areas, as well as next, looking at hosting in Butler County, but focused on also the resource providers in Logan and Simpson, and then Barron would play host to the Hardin Edmondson resources as well, and Warren would be its own standalone event. So we are still in the process of looking for hosts. Leslie, can you kind of give an update on maybe where things stand there?
Absolutely. I do want to let you know that based on the survey results, when we sent out a survey asking for input on these events, these will all run from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on those days. We do have a location for Metcalfe County that is going to be Bowling Park. We also have a location in Butler County that is going to be the Skills U / adult ed office. We're still trying to get squared away in Barron County. Hopefully I'll have that by the end of the week. And Warren County will be our lobby here at the board.
Okay. Right.
And I've got a graphic that I just shared this morning on social media that gives you all that information as well.
Okay.
So if you're not following us on social media, please do, because that is where you can find the most current information and updates.
So I know when we mentioned this a few months back, we were saying we need something besides a back to school year thing, because I know a lot of our agencies tag along for those kind of things, especially in the smaller communities. But we are running up against, kind of just the start of the school year, but this is meant to be potential clients and promotion and recruitment for your programs. But this is new for us. So we've not done anything like this before. And if it has been done, certainly not at this scale. So we just wanted to take time in today's meeting to kind of ask a series of questions. Leslie, kind of be maybe the moderator and note taker for this, but how do we think we can make this event be the best for these potential customers and clients? So what are some ideas here? So we think about how to maximize drawing attention to ourselves. If all of us were in a room and we're all sitting behind booths, you've got the newest printed version of whatever your flyer looks like and your program brochure and all of that. How else can we make it, besides that being the fact? How else can we make it good?
Food always works.
All right, Chad, and I agree. That was one of the suggestions that came up multiple times, is to have snacks drinks, that kind of thing. And so we're prepared to do that at every event. We're not gonna have a full on buffet or anything like that. I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm sorry.
Well, I was thinking more like food trucks.
Food trucks? Ooh.
Have food trucks
That's
come
smart.
and people
They will
can-
already have their people that come there, so
Right.
they might as well stop.
Ooh, that's a great idea, Chad.
My staff, they have their food trucks that they follow around
Yeah.
town.
You have a food truck in your parking lot. I just saw when I was there last week.
I mean,
Hey,
it
I'm-
drives people.
I've got a question. Do you have to do any kind of permits or anything with those?
They already have one.
Their permits.
Okay. Okay.
We'll have to get with Derek, I mean, about what that looks like here, right? But I mean, not you, or we'll get with whoever we need to get in touch with about
If
that,
they're
yeah.
out in the parking lot? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people see food trucks, they're gonna stop.
And then if
And
you
we go
have,
train them.
yeah, if you have a resource fair type of sign next to a food truck,
Yeah.
get you some food and resources at the same time.
Okay.
All right,
That's
good.
great.
Excellent suggestion. And, we're open to crazy ideas, I mean, please don't think that, okay, this is gonna be set up just like a job fair and that's how it's gonna be run. We are open to suggestions because we want potential customers to come to this event and we want them to get the best possible experience. So what ideas do you have? You're someone coming in for the very first time. What can we do to help them have a good experience?
One thing that just came up in an earlier conversation around, the workshops, and I'm sorry, I'm brand new, so I still need to get familiar with the programming. But it was said you don't have to have a resume to get one. I think that some people feel like they have to be at a certain basic level to even take advantage of these services. So that might be something to just emphasize. That's really new to me and exciting. The other thing is I wonder if door prizes might be available and if some of your community partners might be willing to donate. If that could be opened up to us, something I'd be happy to pitch.
Absolutely. What else? What would make you want to attend an event? What draws you in?
Free government phones,
I'm sorry?
free government phones.
Having them to come sit in.
Okay.
That's what she-
Like
All right.
Gen Mobile comes to our Tuesday health fair and they're wanted.
Just say Google, I guess sometimes that's the routine.
Okay. All right. Good deal. And I will be promoting this on social media. So I would say one of the easiest ways to get people in the door is to have you all share. I can't emphasize that enough. Likes are nice, but sharing helps us reach so many more people. We can do sponsored posts, but again, the shares by partners really are powerful. And if you can do that on your social media for your service, if you are willing to do that on your personal social media, it really does have an impact.
Oh, gas cards.
That is.
Very good idea. Yeah.
I'll be good. Or a voucher to go down to Simpson County and get gas.
That's right.
Good idea, Dana.
Yes.
Yeah, Dana's got it a little bit easier than the rest of us.
Yeah.
There, Simpson County.
All right, if you do have other thoughts, I'm going to be creating a registration for community partners. And I'll put in like a suggestion box as well, because we don't want this, to be, okay, here are the ideas, now we're done. We're completely open to continuing that conversation.
So next, yeah, like how can we make it best for you guys that would be there? Because some of you may cover the whole Brad region, and so that's asking a lot for basically 4 half days. And some of you may have staff capacity to cover that. Some it may be you're the promotional person that would go to that. So we want to make sure we are paying attention to who has services in what communities. So Keith Ray doesn't provide service to Metcalfe County. It may not make sense for him to be at that one, but we want to let those of you that are covering all of these areas have an opportunity to be there. But what ideas would you have about how to make it best for yourselves here and for all of us?
Amy mentioned on chat to announce to local radio stations. Okay, very good.
So that might mean, like Amy, I know you did that for us when we did the job fair, and I think when you did your own, but we need that kind of connection, right? Like, because we don't have all of those contacts. So
our local radio station, of course, it helps because the fellow that owns it's one of my best friends, but I even set up times where they have me on their morning show. So if you can get a slot on a radio station, it works really well for publicity and networking.
Do
what? Yeah.
So maybe this is the time to ask for who wants to be like spokespeople. Like Leslie might want to do it, but I think to her point, like you tell your own story pretty well too. So who wants to be with Tony Rose, and if we can get those audiences. Well, we'll let you guys chime in later, maybe if you're wanting to do that.
Even invite those local radio stations out to the resource fair, podcast from them.
Yeah.
Here we go now.
All right, y'all are awesome.
Whoever can get the place out there.
So I think for both partners and customers, outdoor signage, like a week in advance of the event.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like you said, they don't have phones, they don't have minutes, so they're not on social media.
Have there been other events recently that anybody has attended or hosted that you saw some success through some kind of a promotional channel or partnership besides the ones that have already been mentioned? I mean, a way to increase word of mouth.
I was in Paducah a couple of weeks ago and had no idea about a hiring event that was going on there. All I saw was like 15 tents with different company names on it, and it made me stop. And then I went over there and I was mad because I didn't know about it to have my tent there. So anything that's outside, having
When we said food truck, but I was like, but then people might not want to come to the store.
You know what if we put a flyer on, I go through the drive-through all the time. Like if we asked to put the flyer on the window,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, digital is powerful in social media, but we also need to think about places where we could put printed out
I was
flyers.
thinking like DPS building, people that come there,
Okay.
Now, Paula, can you tell us a little bit more about the family support staff? What are you talking about there?
So it's kind of it's the food stamp office and Medicaid, but that's the name, family support. So they're seeing people daily or speaking to people on the phone. So I usually do that in my county, but every county has a family support office.
Okay. And Denise, can you get us in touch with WRUS then? Do you have contacts there?
You've got Hep C.
Real bad,
Good. Yes, I do. It's fairly easy to get on with them, so.
So I had it real bad.
My screen is over here and my camera's over here.
What if because I was waiting on developing the intake form until I started getting feedback. What if on the intake form, not only have a suggestion box, but a box for, you know, do you have a media contact? Do you have, you know, that way you don't have to worry about emailing or, you know, and all the information will be in one place. Media contact.
It feels a little weird to be planning just a resource fair, right? Like, I think as nonprofit partners or things where we're usually trying to get like the free space, we're usually tagged on to other community events, or we're the side thing. Like, this is the main, you'd be the main thing at this. So like, yeah, let's figure out, you know, how else would it be great to get, because I know we would hate to have just like a dozen people show at each event, and we've got food truck vendors, we've got radio stations, and, you know, we really would want it to be at a bigger scale than what we maybe normally deal with. So.
And Amy mentioned in chat, the chambers. I think I was speaking actually with the Cave City Chamber yesterday and started talking about this, you know, this concept, and she was getting fired up. Just, you know, she had no idea what some of our partners do.
Yeah.
And I think this is extremely important. You know, we may see that, oh, in the future, we need to do this county by county.
Yeah.
But this is at least a step in the right direction, I think.
So I can anticipate, everyone, that just as we started to invite employers in, and we kind of had to limit the partner participation, if this was exclusively partners and resource providers, we're going to get a few employers saying, I want in on that. So I would know what to, I do know what I would say. What would one of you say about why we wouldn't want to have employers at this? I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know what I would say. What do you think would be a good reason if once, not if, once they start contacting us, wanting to be a part of this? If somebody's like Chad, there's stuff going on, I want to be there, I want to get in on it.
Okay, so if this is a resource fair, this is basically for people to stabilize. They need to be stabilized first before they can search for and be a good employee. So I would suggest to the employers to give us room to have the resource fair so people can access those resources and stabilize.
And with that being said, we should probably have our sober livings, our halfway houses, definitely get that information out to all those people in each county so that they can let their clients know you're only here for, you know, 3 to 6 months and you're getting ready to get out. Here's some resources, and then it's the day you get out, you go straight to Career Team or to Goodwill or whomever, so that we can start that stabilizing your life and then get you into a job. Because getting people into a job that have all this going on, they may work a week or a day. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, holistic approach to the person before the position.
Absolutely. Yeah, my response was going to be, if they're connected to any of you, you're obviously not going to ignore the employment need, but first things first. So let me ask another thing, as far as a lot of times we have, you know, clients with barriers to getting to a job. Well, how do you think we might be able to alleviate the barriers to getting to these events? Or is a one-time thing not as hard to do than an everyday thing?
Transportation is going to be a big issue. So I think transportation would be helpful.
If you're strategic about where we do them, like Kentucky Career Center here is perfect because everyone can get downtown. So being strategic about where we have the events so that it's easy for people to get there. And I do have vouchers, lift vouchers.
What if we have to do in that parking lot across the street?
Circus Square. Across Chestnut. I know where you're talking, where that hill is. Yeah, part of WK.
Oh, yeah, and Tammy's mentioned the Christian Family Radio has an events page. So yeah, we need to hear all those kind of ideas too, of websites that want to know about community events. Because again, we don't, like, once we build this thing, we'll have it, but we don't have it built to know who all to broadcast it to and get the word out to.
Hey, Brian, I have a question.
Yes.
What all are we going to offer at this resource fair? What exactly, what are we going to have? I'm just kind of curious on what all, because there's so many things I know that you and Leslie can bring into this. And I was just wondering what all you are thinking about having exclusively at the resource fairs.
I mean, I think
If you don't
minimally,
know yet, that's fine.
yeah, no, I think minimally it's all of you, right? And then it's like these other ideas of other entities that might not be in our partnership team. We would want to, this is not just a community partnership team fair, right? This is the community resource fair. And so, I mean, ideally, this is the barrier reduction entities, right? Whether it's some funding assistance, whether it's, counseling, professional support, all those professional support kind of resources that are out there, letting people know that these exist,
Awesome.
and how to connect. Yeah.
Sounds good, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other mentality we have to have on this is we have come out of a pandemic that's shut a lot of things down for 2 years. And so some places might say, oh, that office is still closed, isn't it? Or they're not seeing people anymore. And this might be the way to get the word out. I mean, Amy and Brittany, I still come across people that were former GD or ESL students that are like, y'all are still closed, right? I'm like, we closed for like 4 months. Like,
Oh my goodness.
yes. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, they just walked away in March of 2020 and they haven't opened their ears to, other things. I think this is a way to get them to hopefully hear the freshest information on how they access all of our services.
I agree. Thank you, Brian.
Maybe putting that barrier removal piece in the title so that people know these are resources for barrier removal.
Yeah.
And not just some other definition of resource.
Let's do this. How about we use you guys to kind of be, in market, like do the market research for us. So run these ideas by clients. Hey, how would something get your attention? What would be appealing to you? What would a name that would, not you wouldn't like dismiss it, you would want to lean in and you wouldn't say, oh, that's not for me, or I'm good. I don't, we would, I think some market research from focus research there. I don't forget the name of what that's called, but when you just get some sampling of some feedback from folks, say, hey, you know what, you always have good ideas or good advice. Can I get some feedback from you? Family resource centers from local schools. Yeah.
Especially with school about to start.
Yeah.
Denise also mentioned like church buses, transporting people.
Yeah.
To different places.
So in addition to a flyer, just, advertising the events and the different locations, what do you all think about, like, once we have, okay, these people are registered to attend, and registering is just so we can keep a record of, how many spots we have, who's coming, and so forth. If the deadline is early enough, I could put together for each fair a listing and a short description of each person who's there. So when someone walks in, they register. And I'm just thinking like basic minimum information when somebody walks in, and we can give them a sheet that says, here are the people who are here today, and just a little brief blurb on each.
Basically, legend of what's there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that's something they can take home with them.
Right, exactly.
2 weeks later, oh, I need that.
Right.
Yep.
So I need to ask for a very brief description on that. Okay.
So Leslie was also asking a question about, how do we think we want to capture people's information when they actually come? Because obviously some people might only be able to be there for a few minutes and they didn't get a chance to make the rounds, or your booth stayed constantly busy. You had a line of people and people didn't get to all talk to you. Let's imagine that's what's going to be the problem, right? But what do we think would be fair information to collect and get from folks?
not only what you have to offer as an agency, but how a client qualifies for those offerings that your agency has. I mean, do you have to be this much under the poverty level, or is it available to anyone, or do you have to be unemployed? Just a brief summary of what it takes to become a client in your agency.
Tammy saying Medicaid eligibility, also name, phone, email. Okay.
I think if we could include just an open-ended spot about why did you come here today, that might also provide an opportunity to capture information that's very relevant to us that we're not even thinking of. Give folks an opportunity to share their own stories.
That's great.
Very good.
And how did you hear about us? Yeah. How do you know Denise? How do you know Amy? What about if it was something about, could we maybe ask for permission to share to other resource providers that we think they might be a match for? Just sort of that ask on the front end for a referral thing to happen, if it didn't naturally happen at the event. Okay. This has been good. And then, okay, we've kind of already talked about ideas for promoting. Other things to think about. There are things we haven't discussed yet, or somebody's been biting their tongue, waiting to see if somebody else would say it, but you really need to say it now. Either verbally or through chat. Okay. Dana, good point.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Someone who asked, do you want us to fill this out, or do you want to fill it out and have us do it for you? Yep, that's great. So I think the other thing, and I don't have a question like for this, but who wants to be on the party planning committee? Because this is gonna obviously have to be bigger than Leslie Whitty, and just good ideas coming to Leslie. I mean, if there needs to be a core group that even helps at all of them, even if your services are in only a couple or one counties, like, I think it would get complicated to make a group for each date. So who wants to be on the party planning committee? This meeting's not over yet. You're not dismissed until we get some names.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll help Leslie if she needs it.
Yay. Very good. And I'll add that in on the registration as well.
Okay.
You know, if you're willing to help. But yes, I need all the help I can get, y'all. And we'll have fun.
You may
Yes, we will.
You may need the samples of food truck offerings. You know,
That's
that might be
true.
part of what needs
That's
to happen.
Definitely get the one that does the salads. She has a
Shot
following.
by tea or-
Yes, she has a following. Every time I see her truck, I guarantee she sells out every time she pulls that truck out.
Well, now there's another thing. If we got food trucks and they are on Facebook, we could ask that they could promote. Yeah. It's you guys too. You guys are sharing it too, so nobody's being left out here. Of course, you guys can promote it.
You what? Could use.
You can use us.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Other things? I know we're sort of wrapping up here, so.
I was gonna add,
Yeah, go ahead.
for my population, it would be helpful to know kind of upfront which employers or resources may be like felon friendly. I know a lot of them double dip, but if they're able to quickly identify like, oh, hey, they can help connect me with this. That's something that I can advertise at our office as well to kind of recruit and get people there in multiple counties.
So that just made me think of something. This might be a dumb idea, because I got plenty of the dumb ideas, but like if, let's say it was a category of service. Blue, if you see a blue ribbon or something, then that indicates that thing, right? If it's orange, it indicates they have services, and somebody might have all the colors of the rainbow for whatever it is, you know, if we did, would that be like a visual cue? That may not work if it's like people are standing in front of the booth, but maybe there's another way we can get the idea across.
Definitely,
Maybe
like
even if it's
on
just an
the-
event map that we.
I-
Like
I
on
love
the
that
web-
idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the legend that she was talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Put different colors on there.
And then maybe there's navigators or whatever we call them that would be sort of, to Dana's point, offering to fill information out, but would direct people. And they would know who, based on information they just filled out. Maybe that information is also color coded and people don't know it. But when we see a checkbox, then that indicates they qualify for gold.
And if they,
doing
you know,
gold
if
stuff.
they're in a hurry, they'd be able to quickly see, I need to at least hit all the blue flags, because that's probably where their most pertinent information might be.
Yeah.
Chad, how do y'all normally go about with like y'all expungement fairs? Like, could a person set up to talks about it, not really?
So they ask that everybody pre-registers on all our expungement clinics. That way they can get information to the Department of Justice beforehand. But it's basically running like we used to do the hiring events. You come in, you register, we get all your information, we send it to somebody, they pull your record up, and then you get called by number. Yeah.
Wouldn't this be just more for informational purposes?
That's what I was thinking, like, could we have like an information?
Oh, yeah.
Have somebody informational there, not so much for the.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they get the information that they need to start the process.
To be ready for it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you said, so Hannah's saying an expungement booth with legal aid, yeah. I mean, I think that's good, because those events don't come along that often, but the action can happen, or the connection can
People don't
happen.
know about them. I know that we've had some people that would register last minute, so like they said, if we just have somebody set up with information about the next one.
I'll do it.
And additionally, don't forget that we can, give the information in other languages. So
Yes.
I'm ready to make the translation in Spanish. I already made for Jake, I think, 2 days ago. So because of course they are Spanish, I can do in French, but it's not so useful. But if we can, try to do for the other languages in case the employers make, I don't know, Swahili or Burmese future employees.
Okay.
See about the VA rep over there too.
Yeah.
The VA, what you call it, I can't even use it right now, get in there for ratings and different stuff like that. That way, veterans come, they have an issue with the ratings, whatever the deal is, you can start them up like that too. Because he's only here 1 day a week at the American Legion, but if this is something we can get him to for 3 days or at least 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. So we're still looking for a topic for the next meeting of August, so I know we're gonna have Anna. I don't want to maybe ask her to do it in August, but I know she's prepared to give an update to you guys and have a discussion about some of the services and presentation for the fall. But if anybody wants to highlight programs or kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive, I'll just say, because sometimes when I've heard from people, I have to explain this, I'll just say it to the group, but since we do represent 10 counties, I do try to make sure if one of you says something, that's going to make me think of, well, if you only serve that in your county, I need to pull in people that do that same thing in the other county. So that's kind of what happened last month when we heard about the basic needs services. Is it's hard to go to one place that covers all 10 counties for basic needs and has a, so there's different nonprofits in all of the different communities for those things. So anyway, if you got something you want to share and get out to the partnership, then I'll try to make sure we have, consistent distribution if you only are more focused in your scope and in your territory. And I think that hits us. So yeah, so mark your calendars for that. And if it doesn't work for August, we'll try to get you on for other months as well. So we really do want to make these about you, for you. serving you and arming information for you so you can pass on to your clients. So. All right, well, we will let you guys go. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
We'll be in touch. See you at the resource fairs if we don't see you before then.
See you soon, Amy.
Bye, see you, Chad. I'll see you in